My introduction to Kirby has come very late in my gaming career. So late in fact, I only really know the podgy little pink thing from Smash Bros and the more recent Kirby and the Forgotten Land. And that's only because my son has swept the floor with me in the former and annoyed the heck out of me with the co-op in the latter. So going into Kirby's Dream Buffet, I was left wondering, why is Kirby racing down a food hill? Well, there's no good answer there, at least none that makes any canonical sense. I demand everything have a place in its universe, but it's all good fun all the same, so long as my player 2 is up for a few rounds. The gist of it is that you take control of Kirby or another Kirby-like character and send them rolling down a food-laden hill, smashing barriers, avoiding obstacles, collecting strawberries, the game's points, as well as power-ups to give you the edge. Think Mario Kart's ability boxes and you'll have a fair idea of what I mean, though there's nothing quite as annoying as that big bloody blue shell. Each game is split into 4 rounds, with the first and third races being through tracks covered in bacon, sausages, eggs, and all sorts of lovely food stuff. The second and the fourth rounds are the mini-games, where you'll have the chance to turn the tide and claw back some points if you performed poorly during the downhill runs. These rounds were where I usually made up for my lack of skill, though as I am reminded daily, I'm still the loser most of the time. I just can't seem to get a good run together, and I often end up trailing far behind while my boy gobbles up the strawberry dish at the end of a race, where there are 3 dishes with different values. Being first to the end means that you can slap 50 points to your total, while the others are worth 20 and 10 respectively. I normally end up munching through the 10-point dish, but I have managed to get a few 20 dishes, so I am improving. The races are quite straightforward and very simple, with no real loss states. There is the risk of falling off the map, but in typical Kirby fashion, you're able to float your way back to the track by tapping the A button continuously. This actually plays into the end results too. Collecting as many strawberries as possible is the best way to get the win, because at the end of the 4 rounds, each player is weighed up by how many strawberries they've munched through. Bonus points are awarded for in-game feats, such as floating the most, collecting the most power-up boxes, and so on. It's a way for the game to give the final weigh-in at the end one last twist. I've had a few rounds where I thought I was definitely going to lose, only to pip the kid to the post with some bonus points at the end. Kirby's Dream Buffet definitely takes some inspiration from the ever-popular Fall Guys, though in typical Nintendo fashion, it keeps things very simple for its younger intended audience. And make no mistake, this is definitely one for the smaller hands, and that's okay. It's still fun for older players like myself, though I definitely got the most out of it when I was playing in split-screen mode with my boy Charlie. I did play a few rounds in single-player mode, but playing against the AI is nowhere near as fun. I can't poke the AI in the ribs when they beat me. Playing online against others is a fair option, though once again I would argue that to get the most out of Kirby's Dream Buffet, you really do need some local players. The back and forth I had with my mini-me was really fun. The smack talk between rounds, the sly shoulder barge as I tried to land a power-up attack, and the absolute temper tantrum when the kid finally dropped around to his old man. It's all good fun, and I really love it when games manage to reach beyond the screen and into the living room, and that's something Kirby's Dream Buffet does really well. If I had to have a moan about anything, I'd have liked a bit more distinction between tracks. As it stands, most of the tracks are all very similar, given that they're all made up of the same munchy mixture of breakfast foods and sweet treats. I'd also point at the at times iffy performance. It's not a deal breaker by any means, and this is a complaint that will mostly sit with the more experienced players instead of the younglings. With a large number of collectibles, endlessly fun gameplay across various modes, and a very friendly and approachable aesthetic, Kirby's Dream Buffet is the perfect couch party game for younger players. And that is the end of this review. As always, thank you for watching, we really do appreciate it, and if you appreciate what we're doing here, give the like and subscribe buttons a little tickle, and don't forget to turn on notifications so that you don't miss any future videos. I've been Chris, you've been gorgeous, and now I really want bacon, eggs and cake for my breakfast. Well, I'm an adult, I can, and I think I will. Until next time, cheers my dears.